Welcome, everybody, to Craving Cars Live. I am Corey Pratt.
I am Chris Ruck.
And welcome, right?
Welcome.
There you go. He's done it. He's done it again, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, thanks for watching. All right, see you next week.
That's good. Good job.
Oh, wait, we had some other things to talk about.
Quite a bit, actually.
Didn't we? Okay.
We did.
What do we have?
All right, let's get into it.
All right, let's do it.
Let's talk about last week.
Welcome, everybody, anyways. Yes, last week. What did we do last week?
A lot. Geeks for Kids.
That's right. That was huge.
Yep.
That was a big thing right there.
Yep.
That was a fundraiser put together. The Kansas City Exotics Group helped put that on over at Stonegate Motor Plaza, and they needed to raise money. Geeks for Kids, they build mobility cars for kids who have issues getting around, whether they can or can't or very limited, and they go out of their way to take all money donated and all sponsorship money. They put it into these cars and they give them away. They get nothing else out of it except for the joy of the kids being able to move around. Unfortunately, they had a few of their donors pull out.
Major donors.
Yes, some big ones. So there was a lot of kids that weren't going to get their cars.
Yep.
They got stepped up. How much money did they raise?
31,000 plus.
You know,
almost 32,000.
Yeah.
31.
Isn't that crazy? In
Give or
just a
take.
couple week period
awesome.
of time.
Yep. That's awesome.
And yes, and it's still going on. Matter of fact, we'll have some links here in the description after this kind of goes up for another time that you can click. And actually, we've got so actually, if you go back, we did some interviews at the event.
3 of them. Yep, we did 3.
And if you go back to those,
4.
they do actually have links to where you can go to donate or become a sponsor yourself.
Yeah. The Learn Foundation does a lot. So make sure you check out the links. Go over there. You can always donate. So big cause.
So hey, I call that a success.
I do too.
That worked out really well for them.
Yep.
And now there's a lot of kids going to get those. And we're going to do more with them, aren't we?
We are. We have 2 things we're going to do. We've got the launch date they call D-Day, where they give everything away, their delivery day.
Right.
But we're going to go behind the scenes and film on how they're built, what goes into them, because there's a lot of engineering that goes into these things.
Yes, they're basically, as we were explained by Rebecca from Learn,
Computers.
They are computers on wheels.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
they are a lot of electricians and engineers and stuff that go into building these things. So they're pretty impressive.
They are.
And they said the best thing is seeing how the kids light up when they're being handed out. It's pretty cool. So
Yeah, we're excited for sure.
I like that a lot. Now,
And that took almost half a day. I think we were there for from 9 a.m. till 3, give or take, right? By the time we broke down. So.
Yep, as we got set up and everything. And a full video just got released today.
It did.
Of the event itself. So you can just kind of see in general what the event looked like and everybody together enjoying themselves.
Yeah, we have a sample of it. You want me to play it?
Go for it. Let's show them what others expect. Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are down here at Stonegate Motor Plaza. It's actually been a little while since we've been here, but check it out. It is filling up with some really, if you've never been out here, it's actually really cool out here. But it's been filling up with some really cool rides, some sweet cars, a lot of stuff in the KC Exotics Group, because we are down here to Save Geeks for Kids. It's an awesome little organization that helps build cars for kids with mobility issues. Either way, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. We're going to get a few interviews in, but this is it. They're rolling in here. This is going to be a fun time. It's a little chilly out this morning, but that's okay. I am Corey Pratt, and this is Craving Cars.
Of course it is. It's always Craving Cars. You know that.
What else is there?
That's true. That's true. You know what? It's a great video. Make sure you check it out on YouTube. It's up there now.
Yeah, it's fabulous. I was told it was good.
I thought it was good.
I don't know. Have you seen
You
it?
did a great job. I would like to go on the roof too myself.
Well, maybe you should.
Yeah, that's a lot of climbing.
It can only hold one of us at a time, though.
That's true.
Maybe.
Is that what it is?
Actually, I don't know.
It's our weight limit.
I've had 2 up there before.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right, we'll do that.
There's a weight limit. It's ruck.
That's true.
That's
You know
the
what?
limit.
We talked about, and you talked about doing something coming up in the future, and I'm going to just jump into it. Rigs and Roast.
Yes.
Right.
So this isn't new. It's fairly new, but there has been one event, Rigs and Roast. It was last October, I believe, towards the end of October. And it was just to throw it out there. Now, everybody knows Cars and Coffee, which we're going to get to that here in a minute too. But Cars and Coffee brings a lot of people together. There's a lot of car groups out there, right?
Yep.
There's an Audi club. There's a Mustang club. There's a Corvette club. There's all these different car people together. But what's one thing that Cars and Coffee does? It brings all those groups together.
That's true.
We all hang out. We chill in the morning. And this time of year probably is pretty chill.
Yep.
But hang out, have a coffee, whatever the case may be, and get together. So this is just the same aspect, except it's for your 4x4 and overlanders. So you don't see a lot of those. I mean, you'll see a few that show up to Cars and Coffee here and there. Some weirdo in a Sprinter van or something might show up. But what you don't see is just those together. There's Jeep clubs, there's Toyota clubs, there's Raptor clubs, there's Land Rover clubs, but there wasn't that I saw, at least in this vicinity of the Kansas City area, where there was just a get together for that. So there came Rigs and Roast, and Rigs and Coffee didn't sound good. So since you roast beans,
Well, that's true. I like the Rigs
I
and
thought
Roast.
the Rigs and Roast sounded okay, and we had it at the roastery at the factory plant in near downtown, Southwest Boulevard, and it's a really cool area. They got a giant plane of the building. I mean, what's cooler than that? I don't know.
Well, yeah, you got the big plane. that
Oh, yeah.
flies over the
Absolutely,
sign. I mean,
absolutely.
definitely so.
Well, I've had a few requests about when's the next one going to be. So I think they liked it. I think
April
we had
15th.
about 35, 40 rigs show up last time in a couple week period. I know this is not the hugest noticed either, but April 15th, we're doing it again.
Yep. I'm excited for it, honestly.
Yeah. I think hopefully it gets pushed. I know a lot of people just loved it. And what I want to do with this one is kind of meet with everybody that day too, and kind of see a little bit more of what people want to see in the future. I think we might have like a couple little events planned for that, as opposed to additional just Rigs and Roast get-togethers. But I think we're gonna almost. I don't know if brand.
Are we going to
if brand
Sahara
is
Desert?
No,
Oh, damn.
Death Valley maybe.
I was looking forward to that.
How about Death Valley? That's close.
We
enough.
could do that.
That's
We
close
could do
enough.
that,
We'll
too.
go somewhere down there.
That's true. But speaking of Rigs and Roast,
Yeah.
Cars and Coffee
Yes.
this weekend.
Yep. This Saturday, the opener for the Underground.
Yep.
So the Kansas City Automotive Museum has their underground parking storage kind of thing. If you guys don't know of it, well, it's there. It's in Kansas City.
It's pretty cool, actually.
It's actually towards the location where they're going to hopefully one day build a whole new museum there.
Yeah.
At least that's the plan.
Yeah.
But they have their first one. I think we're going to attend that one. What do you think? I think that'd be good
We
to
are
go.
going there for sure.
Yeah. So Cars and Coffee, 8 to 10, Saturday morning, Saturday the 1st, and we're not messing with you. It's real. It's not a joke.
For sure.
No,
and then don't forget, we have the Blue Springs cruise that same night. So make sure you take care of them and go check them out.
Yeah, Blue
Not
Springs
sure if we'll
Schools,
make it,
That's
but-
that's their launch, isn't it? Is that
It
their
is.
first one too?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a weekly thing. So not sure if we'll make this one specifically, but
We'll make one. When's that start?
I think it's 5 p.m. till like 9 p.m. ish, give or take. So,
Right on. Okay.
yeah.
Well, until people need to go home.
Yep.
Or they can't stay there.
Or
don't
they
have to go
can't
home,
stay
but they
there
can't
and
stay
get
there,
kicked
right?
out.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what? But it is a good scene. I mean, everything from classics, hot rods,
It really is.
Imports,
It's a mixed
bikes, cars.
bag of nuts.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah.
So it's got if you like cars, there more likely is going to be one there that you like.
Yep.
Even if you're really picky,
For sure.
like Ford lovers, there'll be plenty of those out there.
Yeah.
I kid.
Ford and Chevy, they'll
I
go
kid.
against each other.
I kid.
We'll show up with the Porsche.
All righty.
Well, hey, I tell you what. We are always looking to grow.
Yep.
And by growing, the best way we're going to grow is, do you have a product you want us to talk about? Do you have something to send us, to show us? Something we can put on the channel, something we can put on our live podcast here? Or are you wanting to be a sponsor? Let us know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think
down
we
below.
we're set up to do live reviews, test products,
Yep.
whatever, right? So it is good to learn that. And we do have companies that are coming on the show over the next couple of weeks
Yep.
that provide things like car care, PPF, window tinting, those kind of things. But if you have a unique product, something maybe you keep in the glove compartment, the trunk, something that's important, that'd be nice to test.
Yeah. If it's car related, that's even better.
Yep, for sure.
Or something that can be used with your car.
I don't know what you would keep in the trunk if it's not car related.
Let's not go that one.
All right.
All right.
We won't.
We're going to keep it much
But
clean.
we have a special guest tonight. They'll be on in a few minutes. I'm not going to give it away. So I think everybody knows who's going to be on, but not the topics. So
Yeah, that's going to be awesome too. And speaking of topics, I thought we would open up. Can we open up a chat
yeah,
discussion?
we can. Let's see. You know, we have all of our friends still online. Let's ask them, because you know what? Wheels is online. He's always online with us. Let's
Will.
throw him under the bus.
Hi, Will. How you
What's
doing?
up, Will? Ask us a question.
What's
Anything.
happening? What's happening?
Let's see where he's at.
And how about you want us? How about we start with the question? You want to start
right.
with the question?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so
Put one out
something we did at Geeks for Kids last week. There was a couple times that we mentioned our dream car was at that show. Both of us.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't check out yours fully. I was too fascinated on mine.
Well, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I could care less about yours. It was worthless. It was a stupid, stupid car. That's why it's got the most probably camera shots in my video. That's not the point. That's not the point.
True.
The point is, what is your dream car? Now, I think there's different variations here. What would you have if money was not an object? You didn't have to pay to upkeep it. You didn't have to do whatever, and just we'll assume that it drives okay, because some cars probably aren't that reliable. Or what would it be that you feel like you work hard, you do well, you'd be kind of successful, that would be a reachable dream car?
Yeah, let's ask Dottie.
Dottie?
Dottie's online. Or Mr. Simmons. He's been online early. He joined us.
Mr. Simmons, you better
really
answer
early.
first. You've been here.
He's got to come up with an answer.
Will, we don't care.
Yeah.
No,
well,
I'm kidding. Yeah, Will,
he was going to
us.
go get a beer.
Oh.
Which I don't blame him.
All right. Well, Will, you'll catch up when you get back. I hope you get your speakers online so you can hear us.
That's probably true.
Do we want to discuss ours? Do you want to say yours? The
You
one
know
that, the
what?
one that was at the show, at least. I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that's the way we'd go. 100%.
I think I would go that route.
Okay.
I think it's within
Well, if
a realm of budget.
Okay.
Right? I'm not going to throw $1 million at a car. But let's say 150-ish. I would go with the car that was at the show, which was a 2023 Aston Martin Vantage V12. All black.
that was a pretty car.
Sick.
It was matte black too.
It was
It
sick.
looked good.
I mean,
It looked good.
it was gorgeous.
It looked good. Bruce Wayne
Yeah.
would be driving that car.
Which I was surprised it only does like 500-ish horsepower.
Well-
And quarter mile or 0-60 was like 3.8-ish.
Maybe they were just being modest.
You think?
Maybe they were just
Or
like,
does
well,
Audi-
really, there's like 900 here, but we don't want to. We don't want to get in trouble.
Well,
for that.
2023, I don't think it was modified. So I think it was legitly.
No, maybe the factory
yeah.
does that. No, maybe the factory is just like, well, it'll do 725 on the horsepower, but let's just tell them it's 570.
You know, and that's funny because we mentioned it before. American cars seem to brag, or I wouldn't say brag, but they extend what their numbers actually are. Where our German cars tend to be on the low side of the numbers. Do you find that true?
This is what I find, and this goes whether it's true or not. This is kind of what. So this is kind of why I say
It's true.
Let's just pick a number. Let's say pick a 400 horsepower car, for instance.
Yeah.
Okay, you take a 400 horsepower American car. Doesn't matter manufacturer. Okay, doesn't even matter engine. And then you take a 400 horsepower European, or let's say German. Let's stick with German cars. For some reason, the German one always seems to be faster still at 400. You know, like if you compare the same rating to rating.
Yeah.
And then there's times that we'll have a car that's like, oh, this is a 500 horsepower car, and it's a giant size V8, and they'll have a 600 horsepower car with a much, much smaller engine. And even if it's naturally aspirated. Well, we won't talk about the Z06. That is the most power out of a naturally aspirated V8 right now. We won't talk about that. But if you want to get into that V8, that 5.5 flat plane crank V8 is a European designed engine.
Yeah, that's nice.
In a sense.
Yeah.
Even though it was made by GM. But let's not get too much into that.
We don't want to dive too much into it.
I kind of feel like the horsepower that comes overseas seems to be more efficient horsepower.
Legit numbers.
Yeah.
Right? They're not
Or maybe they're the ones underdoing it. Maybe they say it's 400, ours is 400, and theirs is like, it's 430, it's 440. Because I will say this for sure. I have a Golf GTI. It's one of my cars I have.
So Will says...
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Here we go.
Ferrari 458. Or the F12.
Or the F12. Super fast? I won't disagree with you, Will. Except for the fact it's a Ferrari. No, I'm kidding. I like Ferraris. I just won't put my money in one.
I think I'm on the same page with you. I
love the hell out of them. I want to ride in them. I want to drive them.
Cars.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. The interior, the leather it's great. My money would just go elsewhere. But
I think
being a car guy, as wide broad of a car guy that I am, I can't buy everything that I love. It doesn't fit in the bill. It doesn't fit. I don't care if I have Jay Leno's garage. It won't. I won't. I'll have too many cars.
Correct. And even Dottie said Porsche.
I know why she said it. Because she has taste.
That's probably
You got class.
That's probably true.
You got class.
Good call there, Dottie.
But I tell you what, our Golf, it's rated at 228 horsepower. Okay, I have never seen one dyno from factory with less than 218, 220 to the wheels. That doesn't make sense. You're not only going to lose 8 to 10 horsepower.
No,
you'll lose a lot. I mean, it should dyno more like 190s to 200 or something. So what makes me think already right there, that car actually more like has 240, 250.
Yeah, but
they say 228, and it's not. It's more than that, because the dyno doesn't lie, ish.
No. I mean, it's going to give you true numbers.
Yeah, and it's putting the power down the wheel, and there's always that certain percentage you lose from the engine to the wheels, right?
Yep.
Whatever that percentage is, each car is a little bit different, I'm sure, but there's no way you're losing, that we're losing like only 0.5% or 2%. You're going to lose 15, 16% a lot of times through the drivetrain like that.
Yep.
So is there a reason that Volkswagens are that much more efficient, or are they just underpowering theirs? Or they're telling you they're underrating what the power really is?
I think all German cars underrate.
Well, I'm just saying that's a good example.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I got.
Yeah.
But that's a good example. My Porsche seems to keep up with people quite well that have a lot more horsepower than me. And I'm not saying that it's faster than them ultimately, but it seems in the real world of things,
right,
it seems to be quite a bit.
Right.
So, right? You agree?
I agree.
Yeah.
So dream cars,
Yeah, my dream car is a Porsche. I'm sorry. It is. Way to go, Dottie. But it's a GT3, 911 GT3. That would be my ultimate. Now, ever since I've always loved the Cayman because I have one, but they now have a GT4 on the Cayman side. So I'm going to be honest, I would flip a coin at this point. Take a GT4 RS or a GT3. I would flip a coin. The difference is I can get a manual in a GT3 as long as it's not an RS model. And I can get a manual in a GT4, but it won't have near as much power. The RS is like the more ridiculous.
Oh, you're talking about the Porsche RS, not the Audi RS.
There's the GT3 RS, and then there's
the
GT3. So the RS models only come with the dual clutch automatic.
There you go.
You can't get a manual transmission with them.
Yeah,
because they're designed to be the fastest of what they are.
You know what? And that's a discussion because you know what? I don't find value in the manual anymore.
You're old.
No, I like the dual clutch paddle shifters. I don't think you can keep up.
There's two people who love those over a manual. Old people and young people that can't drive a manual.
Well, I'm both.
Oh, okay.
How about that?
All right. No, actually, no. Take that. Okay.
Okay, there's a reason.
Joking aside on that, I don't disagree. That's why I would still take an RS model on my dream car, and even if I don't get the manually, row those gears, it would still be incredibly good.
So if you were going to track a car, right? Let's just say your Porsche was a manual, right? Would you rather it be a manual or dual clutch where you can paddle shift it? What do you think?
As long as it's one of the newer cars, like the
Yeah.
dual clutch automatics, I would take a dual clutch automatic.
Yeah, because you can't shift quick enough.
If you're truly trying to track and get a better time than your buddies, you want the dual clutch automatic.
Yep.
You just, I mean, my Golf is a dual clutch automatic, and I actually, when I drive it, and I have tracked it before, I never felt like when I was doing that, I'm like, oh, but only if I had a manual. But when I'm just driving,
Now I see the
manual.
the enthusiasm behind a manual.
when I'm just toying around on some back roads and
Yeah.
hitting some curves, and I'm sitting there at the perfect driving position, and I'm rolling through some gears,
Yeah.
and I got nobody in front of me but some like trees and roads and on the trees on the side, not in front of me, and roads.
Well, hopefully they're on the side.
yeah. And just passing through and
Yeah.
taking a nice little country road and stuff. I mean, that's pretty much perfect
Yeah.
zen in a car for me.
Yeah.
That's just, and part of that is being in communication with the car, and I have a better time feeling that way. If yeah,
Totally agree.
yeah.
Well,
If
you
I'm
know
rolling
what?
gears.
What do you want to go over now? Or do we want to bring on our guest here in a minute or two? Do we have a question online? What do we got?
What do we got? You got anything else? You want to add something to the dream car list? Let's say if I had an ultimate dream car, my ultimate dream car is probably a Porsche Carrera GT. But I even if I won the lottery, I probably wouldn't buy them. Yeah, they're a couple $1 million.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things of I wouldn't. I would just have more 911s.
Will's got all kinds of things he wants to do. He wants a Bugatti. He wants
Koenigsegg,
yeah.
Pagani.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Is that it, Will? I mean, do you have anything else you want? I mean, Mr. Simmons has been online since we started, so I appreciate all of you guys online right now. So,
Will, I don't know a whole lot about that. He was talking about the Koenigsegg 3-cylinder with 600 horsepower. I've only heard it. I haven't read much about it. I'll have to look into that. Thank you.
awesome.
But Koenigsegg does everything cool. So there you go. They're awesome. Your Ferrari choices are awesome. Probably my favorite ones. If you want a GT car, get the super fast. If you want a more of a sports car, you get the 458 for sure.
Yeah.
Bugatti, absolutely. What's your favorite, Will? You like the Veyron that kind of started the whole 1,000+ horsepower cars, or do you like the Chiron or the Devo? I mean, Pagani, they're just artwork.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
They're
They're almost like the P1s of McLaren.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And all the craftsmanship in those things are just ridiculously awesome. They don't have to be even close to the fastest car. They're just amazing.
Nope.
Just looking at them.
Agreed.
Yep. All right.
I'll tell you what. Why don't we bring on our guests?
Let's do it. Devo's cool, he said. Okay.
The one, the only.
All right. It sounds good. It's time. I'll let you do the deals.
All right. Well, I'm going to introduce him.
Oh, dear. Here we go. He asked at the beginning of the show, hey, can I introduce him? I really want to introduce him.
I do.
don't want you to.
I was excited. I mean, I really was excited. So I'm super excited to bring in Shawn Anderson, who's running BFF, is what I'm calling it now, right? Because we just trashed it. And he brought his son here today, right? Well, welcome to the show. You can pull that down just a little bit if you want. There you go.
There you go. You got to get it close. You can just drag there's one way of doing it. Whatever it is, I'm sure you'll figure it out.
There you go, buddy.
We're only live. It's okay. We can edit this out.
That's
oh,
all right.
wait.
Yep, we don't care about live.
Oh, wait. No edits here, buddy. All righty. Hey, welcome, Shawn.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys having us.
Yeah, no problem.
For sure.
Yeah. Get as close to the mic as you can. Well, not that closest. But
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to eat it, but
About that far.
It is what it is.
Bit much.
Welcome. It's awesome to have you here. I know you've been a follower of Craving Cars. You have posted, you have liked, you have shared, and I greatly appreciate all the support on that too. And
I
that's awesome.
totally intend on doing that going forward.
Oh, right.
Yeah, there you go.
I keep craving.
He made
all
out
it
of it
takes.
if we didn't have him on the
It
show.
only cost us $10.
Yeah, he was just like, man, I'm not going to share those no more if you don't get me on the show, man.
That's true. That's true.
I could
So
be
you got
making
your
this up.
son here today. Announce
Hey,
yourself.
Victor, how you
Announce
doing?
yourself. You tilt that down a little bit. You can drop that much lower.
There
There you go.
Little
There you
adjustment
go.
on the fly.
I heard you were a future YouTuber. You're trying to get into it, right? All right, that's cool. So, Shawn?
I hope he does a really cool thing, like, I don't know, cars.
Cars would be good. We like that. He loves to play on his VR headset right now.
do.
So that's his big thing. He's got some
Right on.
followers.
VR. You know what? I do racing. I do iRacing. I do F1 racing online. And the virtual thing I was thinking about going into, so it's a didn't know. Put it this way. When I went on our 25th anniversary and we went, well, actually our wedding day, we went down to Orlando and I went underwater in the virtual thing and I couldn't do it. It was too nauseous. It was.
You can get nauseous on a VR headset.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
You
there's,
can get sick.
There's a roller coaster ride, and I
Motion
didn't
sick.
know. It was my first time putting the headset on, and I'm like, click on something. Let's see what it does.
I'm going to guess you weren't sitting down.
I was not sitting down.
It must felt.
Yeah.
And I got loose in the legs and found my way to the floor, and he enjoyed watching it.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
Watching from the outside.
Don't they
Yeah.
always?
It was a YouTube video in itself.
Oh, there you go. That could have got dozens of hits.
So, yeah. So I know now that find a seat, make yourself comfortable,
Yeah.
Yep.
and
Yeah.
Unless
go
you're
for the
playing
ride.
I've done it once.
Gorilla Tag, Rec Room.
Yeah, I've got a buddy that has had one, and it was probably not 2 weeks ago. And he goes, "Oh, you want to try it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I guess." I go, "I do want to sit down though, because I've already heard the horror stories." And even sitting down, I was kind of like, "Whoa!" But my biggest thing is when I'm playing a game, you got a TV in front of you, right? And you're like, you got your controller or whatever. And this said this, and this was like, it was like a roller coaster, and you shoot little targets.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, cool." I kept forgetting the fact, I can turn and look over here and do all that. And I'm like, oh, I missed it. Oh, I guess I could have turned and hit it still.
Yeah.
And
is
then you just
amazing.
got to get in that mindset. But I have a PlayStation, and I do love my Gran Turismo games. And they do have VR that's going to work with Gran Turismo.
Yeah. Well,
So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that.
there you go. Well, hey, Shawn, what do you have going on? I know, BFF is fairly new to
It is.
2023.
It is.
I know you started it probably late 2022-ish.
I had some other stuff going on, and for whatever reason, I got locked out of Facebook. And when I came back on, as I did it, I created BFF. And the whole thing was me and some of my friends got together, and we were like, dude, where's the shows? And it was always all of us. We'd meet up at one place. Where were we going to go this weekend? Where's the shows? And we'd sit there and search and search. So my thing now is I try and find something that's within a certain radius, maybe an hour. And that's, if the viewers would like for me to post out further out, I could go further out. But generally what I'm doing is something that I would drive to. Even if I'm not going to it, I just post it like something within an hour. And I try and find stuff where there's a link, because it seems like when the link's on there, you can click on the address
Yeah.
and it'll MapQuest you straight to
Yeah.
it. And then there's, it's trouble-free that way.
So what's the goal behind BFF calendar, right?
The goal behind it right now is just to gather a gathering of friends, and I'd like to get more people to the page, because eventually I'd like to host my own show. That's why I'm reaching out. I know you guys have done shows yourself, and I've never done one, so I need to start meeting more people that can introduce me to what I need to know, so I don't walk into it blind and do something stupid with it. I've got some locations picked out that I'd like to. I haven't seen a show at yet, so I'd have a new location. Of course, it's Jackson County, so I'm waiting for them to repave the roads.
Well, yeah. Yeah, well, we're into that
I
anymore.
might be
It's
waiting
called-
a while.
Yeah, that's
it's called
true.
driving skill.
and then there's
right.
that.
Yeah, you
So.
you can't be text and drive. You got to pay attention so you don't mess up your wheels. But if you do, I know a place.
I know a guy.
Yeah, I know.
I know a guy that
I
does.
know a guy too.
Yeah, wheel repair. There you go.
There you go.
So you have Merchant Square. What's going on with that?
So, my mom actually took me out for a birthday lunch yesterday, and we stopped into the Merchant Square. And while we were there, I was just thinking that when they had a grand opening, they had a car show. And so last night I sent them a text, and they sent me a text back stating that they're planning on having more car shows there on Friday evenings. So they haven't actually posted up. That's kind
Yeah.
of a breaking news, maybe.
Yeah.
Could be. I don't know. But
Or we're telling people of something that's failed before it started.
right, that could be too. And
Let's hope not, though.
I put that on myself if that's the case.
That's okay.
That's all right.
Only Chris and I will blame you. No big deal.
No big deal. And I'm sure. I mean, somebody's watching.
There you go.
If anything, Will's is there. Maybe I'll bring my
He's
truck out.
yeah, he's on there.
You can film my truck alone.
Yeah,
there
and
you
Will
go,
said,
Will.
"Hey, Shawn."
You'll
There you go.
you'll have at least something to film.
That's all he had to say. But so the rat rod, you brought your son. You were talking
co-pilot.
earlier offline that maybe he knows a little more about the rod than you do.
I want to know more about this rat rod.
I do
I
too.
want you to start from,
You know what?
from,
I'm
from the
gonna
beginning.
show it,
What
so-
was it? Where? What did it start as? Where's it at now? And how much further do you think you're
Yeah.
going to go with it?
Because you know what, rat rods are a thing for me.
Hey, I know the guy who took that
I
picture.
love them. I love them.
That's a picture by Chuck Williams.
Yeah, Chuck's pretty good.
I love this guy. He's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
There's some other photographers out there. Rebel Jones,
Yep.
she's phenomenal. Jason Stillwell.
Yep.
They all take great pictures. I'm sure there's other people that I'm forgetting. I truly apologize for that.
Yep.
But yeah, there's some really good photographers in Kansas City. The truck is a 1930 Ford Model A. It runs on a Ford straight six Ford 240. I bought it. And here's the thing. Shout out to my wife, Shelby Anderson. She told me, stop buying these vehicles that you're never going to fix. Buy something that's done.
Just keep it in the driveway.
Buy something that's done that you can go and enjoy.
Yeah.
So we had an agreement. She said that if I upgraded the diamond in her ring, that I could go and get something that I could enjoy.
Oh, there you go.
So we had a mutual agreement, and we made it happen. And then Victor here decided, as we're at car shows, he kind of listened to what I was saying at the shows, telling
Yeah.
people about the car, and now...
I know a bunch.
All right, well, tell us about it.
All right. So first off, it's a very good car, and I'd just like to say for all the people that helped, they did a very good job. First thing, it can drop down very low. As you can see, there's some sparks in the
Yeah,
back.
I'm about to say it's sparking a little bit there. Isn't it?
Got a
And
little
it's
bar back
supposed
there.
to, though. It's
Yeah,
it's not
it
just a rat. It's not just rusting out. It's,
Yeah. Well, F1 cars are slamming on the thing. I mean, that's what I look at it for.
When we get
Do you
to
have
our
something
park-
that helps induce the spark?
We do, and that's kind of with him being my co-pilot. When we get somewhere and we park, he handles the switches. We let the air out of the
We have
airbags,
some airbags and drop it up and drop it
Oh,
down.
so you drop the low end.
and then what do we have
Drop it
in
like
the
it's hot.
exhaust pipe?
Exhaust, we have something that can shoot flames. It takes a little gas, but can shoot a little fireball out.
Nice.
That's awesome.
What makes a rat rod better? Flames.
Flames.
Right.
So-
We're not talking
Yeah.
about paint and
Flames.
decals. We're talking
That's
about
right. What are you gonna do,
actual flames.
Bird? What are you gonna do? Add more patina?
No.
We're hoping
Probably
to
not
get
gonna
a better
happen.
bar.
That's true. That's true.
Well, here's the
just
thing.
works.
I worked at Aristocrat Motors, and that's where you and I actually first met.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked there for 15 years, and I loved it. It was great. I'm
Yep.
working on all the high-end stuff and detailing. And when my wife said I could get whatever I wanted, I went with a rat rod because I didn't want to come home and detail my own ride.
That's one way to go. Did you clean it? And you look at it, you go, have you
Yeah.
seen it?
Yeah, I cleaned it.
It
So-
looks great.
Yeah, so I wiped down the valve cover and I wiped down the wheels, which I'm sure you probably appreciate me
There
wiping
you go.
down my wheels.
There you go. Got to keep them clean.
So-
You don't want them to get any build up and then they start corroding. You don't want that.
I cleaned the windshield and the back window. There is no side glass, so that's all right because your arm is always out the window anyway.
So when you're getting your car ready, you got 3 minutes. You're good to go.
That's right. So how good is the ride?
How far are we going?
It can get bumpy.
Obviously not cross country, right? But let's just say daily. If you want to go, just go to a car show.
I'll tell you what. I've done 70 in it, so I've gotten on I-70 doing 70 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And when you hit a
gets
bump
bumpy.
in the road,
It gets bumpy.
it gets.
Does it?
And when you drive by a tractor trailer, it gets a little
gets
wavy.
a little.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
It's
a little
both hands
loud,
on the
too.
wheel at that time, but he keeps me alert. And just knowing that
fall
I
asleep.
have him in the car keeps
Right.
me alert.
There you go.
Well, that's cool.
So it's a true teamwork thing.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, definitely a teamwork thing. for
That's
sure.
awesome.
You need like a second steering wheel to help him steer, just to help fight the crosswinds.
But he's such a hot rod kid. He's grown up doing this, so he's literally gone down the road and fallen asleep in this. And I look over and I'm like, how have you? How? But he's a hardcore rat rodder. It's what he does.
there you go.
so-
Would you guys like me to tell a story?
Yeah, tell us one.
Let's hear a story.
Let's-
Victor.
let's hear
Let's
it.
go.
When we were going to this one car show, it kind of messed up, so we had to call someone to pick up the truck because I started to fall asleep because it was a long drive, and then normally Dad would wake me up, but this time he woke me up because all the tires popped. Sorry, I can't talk.
The front tire blew out on us.
Yeah. And so I woke up immediately once I heard this.
Right.
I was like, what is going on? Okay. And then it took a couple minutes, but he got there, and then we got home safe.
Yeah.
Safe
Well,
and
that's
sound.
good.
That was
Very
the
good.
biggest thing is at least we got home safe.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
We were on our way to a show, and we were running late, but
bumpy.
we were on I-70, and just as 435 has the double lanes going off to the north, we blew a flat and had to pull over just past there. So we had
Yeah.
Traffic
That's
doing
what. Yeah, there's
70.
a Y there that meets up.
traffic doing 70 on both sides of us, and I told him, get out of the vehicle. We're going to go way over here, and we will wait in a safe spot. So, and he did
There you go.
fantastic. So I was proud of him.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, a great story.
But that's one of those things. You have a car and you want to go to an event, and I'm sure many of the listeners have done the same thing. Your car is being worked on right now. So we
It is.
all are going through stuff.
Yeah, we are. It never seems to be I mean, it's a never-ending story. There's always something. It's either something you want to do or something that has to be done.
Right,
So,
right. That's what we all
Yeah.
do. That's what brings us all together.
that
Yep.
is.
So, and that's one of the reasons why I even started the whole Barn Find Fabricators is the whole, I thought BFF, find me some best friends, and we all end up going to car shows together.
Right,
So,
right.
And I turned BFF into Barn Find Fabricators because I like old cars. And
Yeah. I find it great that what you're doing is you're teaming up with, or at least you're publicizing events that are going on so it gets noticed under one umbrella, right? So
That's the whole goal, because like I know I follow you guys' channels,
Yep.
both of them, and as soon as I see something that you guys posted, I know people that are interested in it.
Yeah.
So I immediately, I was just posting just the link, and now I think that it gets a little bit more attention. I will see, like, if you post something and you've added some kind of verbal something
Yep.
to it,
Context to it. Yep.
I will add that to it to try and gain some more interest
Yeah.
from the people, because I know it gains my interest.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's just kind of, I think that's kind of what makes mine maybe a little bit different is I want them to know the story behind what's going on with it. It's not
Right. So
just
what
a
do you?
show.
So what's your plans for 2023? Are you just trying to grow the actual calendar part, or where do you see yourself going as well?
I like when I came on here, my whole thing was people can see me now and know that I'm with the calendar, and you can see the truck. And
Yeah.
I just want to find people that have cars like mine. I right now I roll around and I'm good with it, but most of the guys that I run around with, you
Yeah.
see a bunch of humming Hondas. And then there's this rat rod. And you're like, what just happened?
Right. So is there a rat rod community in Kansas City?
If there is, I haven't gotten involved with it, and
All
I
right.
really want to. I've got a couple guys. I got a buddy of mine, Steve Agee.
Okay.
He's got an old. Steve, I apologize if I think it's a '68. he's got an old C10, and it's a rat rod. And then my buddy Keith, he's got a Volkswagen Bug that's a truck.
Yeah.
Super cool. And
Nice,
basically, those are the only two that I've really gotten with right now that the three of us will go and cruise.
All right,
I'd like to grow that.
Yeah. So how about this? Anybody out there that knows someone in the rat rod kind of community around the Kansas City area, please comment.
Yes, please.
Hey, if you're on here right now,
That'd be
comment
awesome.
right now.
Yeah.
If not, comment and to this video, and we can pass that on to Shawn. You guys can all get involved and have.
Because
a
I think it's
big, happy Rat Rod
unique.
family.
I think the rat rod community is unique, right? It isn't. It's not really about performance. It really is about uniqueness, design around the car, creativity around the car.
Oh, talk about creativity. There are some pretty neat things.
Yeah,
oh
I
my
mean,
goodness.
I mean, I've got a
You don't
six-cylinder.
know the history about a car until you dive into the little unique things, especially on a rat rod.
And-
That's where you start to know why it's there.
A big part of the fun that both Victor and I have when we go to the shows is we like to open the door and invite kids to get in and take their picture. I'm like, you guys are the next generation. Get in.
Yep.
And later on, the parents love it. They're like, man, I really want to get this picture. And some of the kids are like,
Yeah.
I don't want to get in the car. Like, and you don't have to.
Yeah.
I'll leave the door open if you decide later you want to come by there. Jump in there.
Yeah.
Are they allowed to show proof of tetanus shot before they get in?
That's probably not a bad idea.
You never know with a rat rod. It's hard to say.
That could be.
It's probably a good idea.
No, but you know what? Every time I see a rat rod, I always look at the details that they put exterior, interior, especially, just the small things. There's a story behind every piece that's on a car.
So when I bought mine, the guy that built mine, he's from Nebraska, and him and his dad built it as a team deal. And the San Quentin came from, that's what they listened to the music. They had the whole what's his name that I didn't really listen to him very much. He was an older generation music. But I did some tweaks on the vehicle. I took the Jack Daniels bottle off of it, and I put Metallica came out with their own bottle that was called Blackened. And so you can see, like on this picture, you can see the little curly Q coming down by the wheel. That's the overflow goes into the overflow bottle. So I turned this Blackened bottle into the overflow, and
Neat.
Metallica's they've filmed one of their videos at San Quentin. So Saint Anger, the video Saint Anger was filmed at San Quentin, and I was more of a Metallica fan. So I kind of made my own Metallica theme.
Yeah.
And then
I like it.
on the bottle, there's 082 on the bottle. On each bottle, there's a number. And if you look it up for Blackened, there's a playlist. So when they make their alcohol, they'll put it in the bin, and they play this soundtrack of music, and the vibrations is supposed to make each one taste differently. So like mine has 082. So I downloaded that whole soundtrack, and when I go to car shows, I'll roll in playing that soundtrack to that bottle that I've got on my car.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's a
So
little unique.
Will's chimed in. He said, go to Greaserama car show
Yes.
full of rat rods. Maybe a good way to connect with others.
That was one I've been.
community.
I mean, before, I think it was even before COVID. I was trying
Thanks,
to
Will.
make it out to one of those Greaserama ones because they just sounded really, really cool. And
Yeah.
I've yet to make it out to one.
Yeah, but you know what? We're teamed up. Last year, Mod Squad teamed up with a couple tattoo shops where they bring out a lot of rat rods, right?
Okay.
Motorcycles, everything. Same thing. So hopefully this year we can maybe, team up a little bit just to try to mass market with
That'd be
them.
fantastic.
So they're excited about the show. Plus, same thing, promoting, just trying to connect with the community.
Right.
So how about this? Do you have any other future plans for this particular rat rod here? Are you going to do any other mods or
I
any
wouldn't
other
change a
cool
thing.
little stuff?
I want to get some
wouldn't
of the
touch
rock
it.
lights, the rock lights that they put on the 4-wheel drives.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd like to get some just to highlight the motor at night. Just something.
Oh, that'd be kind of neat.
And then
My world.
I have some. Oh, yeah. No, you have shiny LEDs. You
I
have
got the shiny LEDs all bright.
You've got all different RBG
Well, that's probably the only thing working on the
or
car.
RGB.
You
That's
can
right,
see
sir.
on the picture, I had a headlight go out right at the end of the season last season, and I was running just the regular bulbs in there, and I did switch out to a yellow LED bulb in there. So now that it really pops with that yellow color in there, and I really like that a lot.
So on the car, is this just a yellow film or is that actual
No,
old school glass?
So it's old school glass on there, and then I put an LED yellow bulb in there.
Okay.
So
Okay,
that's
okay.
the yellow is actually from, and it's
So
quite
that, so
bright.
if you had it off, it just looks clear still then, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice. Very cool.
Underglow.
Now, how about this? So we've been talking about this car is awesome.
Thank you.
I love it. And of course, the picture is amazing as well. I know you got many other from all the other photographers and all that stuff
Yeah.
too. But what else do you got? Do you got other cars? You got things, other projects? Because you mentioned earlier about not having things not quite finished or whatever. Are there certain projects you're working on currently?
Nothing that I'm working on currently. I got the guys at work laugh at me because I've made fun of my daily driver. I have a 2014 Kia Soul, and they had the rats in their commercial back in the day.
Right.
So
They did. They really did.
That was the whole commercial.
Or were they hamsters?
they were
I cared more
hamsters.
about the
It's still-
rats
it's
than I
still a
did about
rodent.
the car, but
So I call that the Hell Rat. And I have a decal on there on the back that says Hell Rat, and then I have a decal on there that so.
I guess
that
Hell
car-
Rat sounds better than Hell Hamster, huh?
yeah, probably.
It mocks the Hellcats, and whenever I pull up next to a Hellcat,
I see the theme. There you go.
it has like a hamster that's mad as a picture on there, and then it says Hell Rat, and I'll pull up next to him, and it's a 1.6 stock, and I'll pull up next to him and look them dead in the eye and rev on them. And they just laugh, and I love it. It's down the side. Instead of it saying nitrous and all this stuff,
yeah.
I have these decals that look like the nitrous stickers and stuff, but it actually says bread, milk, bacon, and then the bottom one says grocery gear.
Crumbs.
This is grocery gear.
Yeah, closet.
And then I got a sticker that says 1.6 hammy instead of hemi. So I've made my own. It's a one of one.
Yeah,
Hell
your
Rat.
own story.
Well,
There
see,
you go.
I always
That's
assumed
cool.
they used the hamsters in their commercials because that's what it was running on.
If you pop
Yeah,
the
they
Like
Hood.
if you pop the hood,
Treadmills.
there's a couple wheels in there where they should be
Hamster
hamsters in there
wheels.
if they haven't already passed away.
I think they did, but they moved on past that. So, what's
They're
your
like-
goals for the next couple weeks? What do you got coming up? What are you attending? What are you trying to accomplish over the next couple weeks?
Being that it's early in the season, I haven't really chosen shows to go to. But
Okay.
this year, I haven't. In the past, I just on a whim would just go. So this year,
Yeah.
I'm going to try and post when I'm going to a show. So if anybody wants to go and see my truck personally and
Sure.
take pictures, get pictures sitting in the vehicle, I'm good with that. I love that.
Yeah, yeah.
Now this picture that we've been showing, that's from the Nolan Road Cruise Nights, isn't it?
That was actually last Saturday.
No, there you go.
So
works.
yeah,
Very cool.
And the funny thing was, is I was driving on my way home, and Chuck called me and he says, "Hey, are you gonna go up to Nolan?" I said, "Well, I'm on my way home from work right now. How is it?" He says, "There's not a lot cruising right now, but I could see the potential behind it." So I said, "All right,
Yeah.
well, let me get home, see if my son wants to go." And I walked in the door and I asked him, "Do you want to go?" And
I said yes, and
Of course.
he wanted to
Yeah,
go quick
yeah.
before I changed my mind.
Do you want to go to bed or do you want to go cruise? So, yeah, let's go cruise.
then let's go before I change my mind.
That's right.
I walked in and I didn't see his VR headset on, so I'm like, we might have a chance.
Yeah. He probably said sure, and you were already in the car. Go, come on, what's taking you so long?
Go do something.
So what was the engine in this one again? It was a
It is
240.
a Ford 240.
Okay.
And it's all stock. It's out of like I don't quote me on this, but I believe it's out of like a 7D pickup. And it's actually, believe it or not, that is a manual transmission in there.
Nice.
So
You
there's
got the big.
How does that work?
it is a
Yeah,
huge
yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Alright.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's the only way to go.
Yeah.
If I had a manual, I'd do that. Like
now-
a chopper, just
Now, for all the number crunching enthusiasts out there, do you know the power rating on it? Just curiosity.
I
Would you have
honestly
any
do
idea for
not.
something that old?
I don't. I know this. I know when I hit 70 miles an hour, I feel that I'm hitting 70, and I will immediately let off the gas because you know what,
yeah.
I enjoy it, but I'm not that much of a risk taker.
Yeah.
Well, trucks
Yeah.
back then weren't fast. Well, the highway top speed was, well, I mean, the speed limit was only 55.
So
back in
what's
day,
the
so-
chassis? Is it original chassis
That
or?
is a full custom chassis.
Okay, so you there's a body just sitting on
Yes.
a custom built chassis.
Yes. Yep.
Nice.
And
That's
then
awesome.
it has been chopped. I mean, there is.
Yep.
When I look out the windshield, there's
Little.
not much to see. I mean,
Yeah.
I visually,
Not much.
I'll look over to see him, and I see the shifter knob in my view, and
I remember
Big steering wheel, and that's about it.
that's pretty
There you
much yeah.
I remember a few years back at World of Wheels, actually, and I want to say this was probably 18, 19 or something like that, 2018, 2019, somewhere around there. But there was somebody that I was with who were friends with, and they had a rat rod, and they was like, hey, you can go sit. I was like, I've never sat in one before, not, one that was done up like this so much, and of course me getting in it was silly.
Yeah, oh,
Watching
yeah.
a 6'2" person climb into something that's laying on the floor. And then I sit back there and I sit back in the seat properly and I go, all right. And then I started thinking, how do you see anything else other than that particular part of the street right in front of you? Like, I can't see lights from here. I couldn't even see a stop sign from here. Well, they had a little crystal on the dash.
I have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where it reflects the light so you can see whether it shows green or red or whatever for your traffic lights, right?
Yep.
That's the craziest thing I ever saw.
Yeah. So you put it on your dash, and you just adjust it like you're adjusting your mirror,
Yeah.
your rear view mirror, and basically you look across that, and I had to go to a light and hold up traffic one time. And adjust it so that
Red life, what are you going to do?
yeah, so
Yeah,
you're just
yeah.
sitting there at a red light looking over at that, because otherwise you're leaning.
Yeah, I
All the
looked
way
at it as
down.
like it's on my neck. Unless I can detach my head, it's not going to happen.
Correct. Yes, that is exactly right.
And I don't have a zip top head or anything.
Yeah,
so it's-
or you have the best shotgun rider, and you're like, "Hey, will you
There
just
you go.
do me a favor? Let me know when it's green."
yeah. Unless he's trying to play a joke on you.
Yeah,
I don't know why they're honking. Wow, he's peeling off. Look at him go in that Kia Soul. Man, them hamsters
got
are,
a custom
them
sticker
hamsters
on
are
it, though.
running.
Got a custom sticker.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know what? It's awesome that you're educating your son and he's enthused about it. He's
Oh,
part of it.
absolutely.
It
Yep.
is.
That's super cool.
It-
I mean,
it
for sure.
warms my heart wholeheartedly.
Yeah. Well, so this weekend, there's a couple things going on. Hopefully, we'll see you. If not, over the next couple weeks. Anything that you want to point out that you're definitely going to be attending, right? We got KC Showdown, major events. We got Streetcar Takeover, major event. But we do have a lot of local stuff going on as well. Anything you want to promote on your side, or?
I live in South Blue Springs.
Okay.
So on the regular, when I have time, I go to the Blue Springs
Blue
show.
Springs Cruise, Nolan Road Cruise.
And a lot of us will meet at
Yeah.
the Blue Springs Cruise, hang out there for a while, and about the time it starts slowing down,
Yep.
we'll get in a line, me behind all the
Yeah.
Hondas.
Yep.
So if you see a whole bunch of Hondas pulling up,
Just wait for it, wait for it, wait
Right.
for it, wait. Oh, there he goes right there.
There you go.
last in line, but still happy to be involved.
Yeah, so I'm from that side of town too, right? We deal with, we do a lot of things. We do the Legion Hall, Truman's Legion Hall on 40 Highway.
Yeah.
We have a major show coming up later this year, so happy to have you.
Absolutely.
If you need to reach out to us for anything, you know where to go. Where do you want to direct people to get a hold of you?
Well, I am on Facebook only at the Barn Find Fabricators, BFFs, and it should say on there, this logo is.
Yep.
We've decided,
Yep.
you helped me decide to get a logo and
That's
stick
well.
with one, so that way it's a lot easier to
you go.
find. So I will
Yeah,
be
people get
keeping
used
this
to that.
logo.
Yeah.
And when I go to shows, I got some cards that I can hand out,
Yep.
and it's got the QR code where you can scan it
Yep.
and go directly to it. So
Super cool. Very
But
cool.
it is a great calendar of events, right?
I like to
Because
think
what
so.
we look at with our members in Mod Squad is what's coming up, right?
Right.
Maybe we're not hosting it or anything,
Right.
but it is a value event that you want to sponsor. So it's great that if you go to the calendar on BFF, you can find out pretty much what's going on in the Kansas City area,
Right.
which is great.
And that's
So,
my goal. And like
Yep.
like we were saying earlier, if people want me to go out further as far as Springfield, St. Louis, I can do that.
Yeah.
I don't do
Yep.
a lot of those just because I know my particular vehicle, I more than likely am not going to drive.
We can get up to 75. How's that sound? Well, Shawn, you know
or
what?
take.
I appreciate everything. I appreciate you coming on the show. Appreciate
Absolutely.
everything you do.
Yep.
Seriously, I think it's important that you're at least getting an umbrella to say, here's what's going on in Kansas City. The shows that are worth value, you're highlighting them. So appreciate it.
It's something I think a few people had been discussing that needs to happen. I know before the COVID all hit, I used to try to do that through videos and did a monthly up-to-date video. But the thing is, that's once a month. So someone go through the month, that's fine. I try to cover the whole month. But if someone were to pop up from then, they won't see it because I didn't do another video just on that one thing. Or if they want to know what's going on the next month that could have already been scheduled for months, then I don't really talk about it until once again the beginning of the month. So it was a good idea and it was a good start, but the calendar is just amazing because you can always go there, you can always add, or something gets canceled, or something does a pop-on thing and it can get added immediately instead of having to wait another however many weeks another video is going to come out to let people know what's going on. So that's kind of cool.
One of the things that I've tried to add on with it, that learning from experience on it, I will click on it and like it so I can follow it. And then as it re-pops up, I try and post it the day before and the day of, so that if people are pulling up their phones or whatever and they're looking for something, it's been reposted the day before and it's been posted the day of. So it should be much easier to find than, and I'll find stuff where people will put pictures of an event that's coming on, of a flyer, and if you guys want me to, I can post those, but it just seems like if there's an event link, it's a lot easier to find because you can click on the address and get yourself there.
Yep.
That makes sense. I think most of what Chris and I have done is usually through an event.
It seems so much easier.
That has been posted like that as opposed to a normal flyer. So
There's a lot of ways to expand everything, but now you just get, even with our show, it's the more we expand, it's now you just got to keep jumping through different things. Right. So it's best to have a home base that everybody goes to.
Yeah. So everybody use it. That's what it's there for, right?
Yep.
And you got something you need to post. You got an event that you need to get out there. Then your BFF is the way to go.
I've got days where I have to go to work, and thank God I have a job in today's economy and whatnot. But there's days that I don't get to make it to the show, and I get to watch you guys' show to see what I missed. And,
good.
And I'm not depressed by it. It's nice to see, because I know people at the shows. I'm like, hey man, hey Chris, I saw your car. Hey Ryan, your car's over there. So, and then I send them the video. I'll share the video on my link, and then I call shout out to my buddies that are, hey, I saw your car. So it's pretty awesome, and it's just all of us helping each other. It's just
right.
Yeah,
cool.
That's exactly it for sure.
Yeah, and that was one of the biggest things that kind of was the beginning of Craving Cars, was going out and basically bringing awareness to the car community of events like that. And so I would go shoot the event thinking, hey, if people couldn't make it, they can go back and check it out. Or maybe just someone says, you know what? I didn't get to walk around very much. I was there and I didn't even get to see, and they're seeing things that they didn't get a chance to see. Not that I can always cover everything either, but it's just kind of a little thing of just to show people what it was like to get that feeling.
Yeah.
But the thing is, some people, I'm like, I would have went to that if I knew it was there, but by the time they're watching my video, it's already passed.
I don't know how many times I've gotten to a show and Victor and I get out and we just hang out right there at the truck and let people get in and out of the truck and do their thing.
Yeah, you didn't get to see the show,
we're like,
did
we didn't even really walk around. We
Well,
we were part of it, but
Yeah, we were there. You saw our car there. It's like, no.
No, I didn't.
It's out there.
Yeah, I didn't go anywhere.
We had
but
887 people go through our truck, but it's
right.
That's
But
true.
to us, that's our trophy too.
Yep.
If you're showing excitement for it, I don't expect to go home with a plaque. I don't expect to have a trophy.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like is
Just
people
one
walk up.
picture.
That thing is awesome.
Yep.
Melts my heart every time.
There you go.
Thank
worth the diamond purchase to get the car.
That's right.
Shelby, thank you so
Victor,
much.
anything else you want to add? Victor, what do you want to add anything, or what's up? You want to say hi to any of your school friends or anybody? No?
I know Gangam is in the chat. Hi, Gangam.
Hey, Gangnam.
All right.
All right. Well,
You guys
we're
have-
done for today. Appreciate everything you guys brought to the table. Thank you so much
Yeah,
for
this was
participating.
great.
Victor, great job, buddy. Stay in the world of your dad for sure.
Okay.
Yep. So I think, this is an official sign off for the night. We want to thank our wives as well. We
Yes,
don't want to
definitely.
leave them out of there. Thank you
Nope.
so much for
Always,
for
always.
being behind us on all this. And just let you know, Thursday night next week we'll hit it. We got some things going on this weekend, but thanks for watching. I am Corey Prats,
I am Chris Ruck.
and to remember all you cravers out there.
Keep craving.